Hey everybody, welcome back to Bearded Goblin Gaming. On today's episode, we're going to be working on treasure golems. So we're going to take what we saw in the last video and we're going to kind of incorporate that along with something I did in a video when I first tried to start the channel with my treasure piles. And first we're going to start off, we're going to take some of this foil tape. I like to use it when I do a lot of my sculpting just because it can go in the oven. We won't have to worry about that today. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to make an armature out of this just like you would like a tinfoil armature. It's just a little easier because it sticks together. So we're going to have to decide how big we want it, and for now I'm thinking that the wood bases that we were using last time aren't going to be big enough. So I'm going to take my little firefighter cup here that I use to keep my glue sticks. We'll put it on a piece of 1 corrugation cardboard. Drop everything, and we'll go ahead and we'll just trace that out. I'll just go ahead and cut that. That's a little over a 2-inch circle. I mean, if you got some that's going to work better or you want a more stylized base, you can always do that, but we're just going for quick and simple. And then we have to build the armature. So you can use wire if you wanted to. That's what I did on one of the other ones. Just build that and then use this to fill it out. But since we're going to be using the hot glue gun to bulk it up and go over it with the rock, we really don't need to. And just peel that away. We'll just fold it in half to make some legs, part of the torso. And you just got to decide how tall you want it. And I'm thinking maybe 3 inches at the head, or whatever ends up being the head. So there's our legs. Let's go ahead. Our arms. Grab another chunk. And you can use the paper backing too if you wanted. It's not a big deal. Stick it to everything. Bend that in. There we go. So I'm thinking we'll just have him kind of lumbering forward. Just kind of like reaching out for the party members. And I'm not going to give him an actual head. We might put like a big rock in the middle or something for the gem. But what I was thinking that I wanted to do, sorry I got a little bit of a lisp today, is we'll take one of these treasure chests that I molded off, and I was thinking about embedding that in his side so he was carrying it around with him. So first we'll go ahead. We'll get the feet glued down. Of course, the hot glue gun's not going to be hot enough. And we'll just slowly start building from there. Okay, so while I was waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up, I went ahead and decided that I'm going to have him carrying it with his arm. And it'll still wrap around, so it should still look pretty good. We're just going to get his feet glued down so he's not going nowhere. And you can puddle this out. We're going to do pretty much the same as we did on the last one. I'll bring this out here. We'll get him set in the middle. We're just going to cover him in rocks as we go. And this will help support the thinner tape there. And you can mush them down in. You just want to make sure you get good coverage, because with it being a treasure golem, it's supposed to be made up of like gold pieces and gems and everything. So you just want to make sure that you don't leave any smooth spots. And before you paint it, you're going to pull all these stringers off. So we're going to go ahead and do that all the way up his legs. I'm just going to climb towards the top. I'll come back as soon as I get a little farther. One thing while you're doing this, you want to make sure that your glue isn't getting too hot, so it actually stays where you want to put it. Because you can see mine started to mold or melt down, which isn't too bad. Like he'll just have a bigger pile of treasure on the floor where his foot is. But I'm going to let the hot glue gun cool down as I go. Just goop it on there. Now you could do this like, if you wanted, just leave it as a rock golem and he'd just be a big gravel guy. But I'm trying to find a decent size rock that's going to look like a good gem for like the center of his chest, to be like a control gem that the wizard would have used when he created him. But we'll just have to see what we find. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've got him pretty much all covered up. See, I've still got the blank spot there. A little bit of a blank spot on his shoulder. We'll go ahead and we'll get covered. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to look for a big rock. This is the biggest one I have on hand for his face. And we'll just paint that up like a gem. So I'm just going to take the heat gun itself. See if I can melt back into it a little bit. A little bit extra glue. See, I'm still knocking rocks off. We'll push that into his face. Heat up his shoulder again. If you got a deep enough pile, you can just drag them through it. You don't have to sit here and make a big mess dumping it back and forth. And then once it starts to dry, or cool down, I guess, not dry, you can go ahead and start pulling off all your little stringers. This one wasn't too bad. I kind of like his feet. I'm not worried about really spreading those out too much more. So what we're going to do from here is we'll pull out the black Mod Podge just like before, and we'll get him base coated and let him dry. And from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our brown that we did in the oozes from last week, and then I'll probably go ahead and hit it with the yellow, or I'll just switch straight over to, where did I put it? Oh, here we go. Oop, just making a mess. I've still got some of this gold from the original Citadels. This thing is way old. And then from there, just do a whole coat of that. And then what you'll do is you go through and just pick out your favorite gem colors. I usually do a red, like his face will probably be a red. And then just pick out some blues and some greens and stuff and go through and pick out your gems. And I'll show you how we do that here in just a few minutes. Okay, so we got our black Mod Podge on there and everything. This is going to be one of your securing layers to keep that gravel in there. I had quite a bit of it knock off. You can see it here on my paintboard. So just kind of be careful. I use more of a dabbing motion than a sweeping motion, because the sweeping motion is going to pull a lot more. The dabbing, you can try and get it down into some of the creases and everything like that. Try not to let it pool up. It'll just take it forever to dry. And we'll go ahead and set this in front of the fan, and hopefully we can come back and I can get the rest of it done today. Okay, so we've gone ahead and got our base coats down. Like I said, we went ahead and went with this brown, and then I just did a deeper brown out of my other craft paints for the chest. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the gold. Now I went with this brown, so that way if the gold doesn't hit everything, at least the metallic's still going to shine in that little bit in the background. It's not really going to matter. And the best part about this is we can just go fast and be fairly sloppy. It doesn't have to be all that great of a paint job. Just going to kind of run through that and get that all painted. And then we'll come back when we get to the gems. Okay, so we went ahead and got the gold painted. I went ahead and ran some bolt gun around on the treasure chest and just kind of hit it in a few spots on there to break up some of that gold on his body. Now with the other guy that I made for this, that I did as a test model, I went ahead and I made his main face gem red. So with this one, I think I'm going to go with like a huge jade one. Or ruby, something like that. So I think I'll go ahead and do this green here. And it's pretty much the only gem I'm going to put any real serious detail into. The rest of them are just going to be spots of color that are just going to kind of help break up that gold and sell the effect of a giant walking treasure hoard. So let's get that on there nice and heavy. Then we'll run around and we'll just do a couple of spot ones on some of the bigger rocks that show through. And we'll just pick out 3 or 4 different colors. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with this. More of a real blue, the green, and the red, of course. And even if you hit a bunch with one color and you end up not liking having so many of those, you can always just paint right over them with another color. So that should be enough of that one. We'll do some yellows. I have a lot of more expensive paints, but a lot of this stuff is all just cheapies. Nothing beats a 50-cent thing of paint if you need a lot of it and you just want to throw it around. So let's see. Not a lot of flat faces showing up, so I'm just going to kind of hit a couple spots. Right there. Yeah. Do some reds and oranges. And then we'll come back for some beauty shots. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. They're some quick, simple models. I enjoyed making them. They should look pretty good on the table running around trying to kill the heroes. And I'll see you next time. If you like the video, go ahead and leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.